So let's take a comfortable seat, and you can have your soles of your feet together if that's comfortable. I always sit on something. I sit on a little bolster or a zafu or a block. So soles of the feet come together. If throughout the process when we're seated, you become uncomfortable with the legs out, you can use blocks to prop those knees up, or you can just bring the legs together. So your choice is there. Okay, let's keep warm in our practice today as well. And just take the left hand onto the heart and the right hand down, deep down into the belly, and just feel the warmth of the palm connecting to the body and the warmth of the body coming out to the palms of your hands. Close the eyes if you wish, maybe just dropping the chin lightly. And just be aware of the space around the throat, around this kind of the hollow where the collarbones meet. Just be aware of that space. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the neck nice and long and soft. And as you breathe in, you kind of feel the spine lengthening. And as you breathe out, you let go of tightness and tension that you may be holding anywhere in the body. Breathe deep into the bottom hand, so the hand that's down onto the abdomen. Breathe deep so that you feel the belly inflate. And you feel the belly kind of rise into the palm of your hand, and the chest inflates at the same time, but it's not restrictive. It's just breathing, moving, filling the lungs, filling the belly with air, breathing out. So throughout our practice today, we'll be focusing a little bit on our vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve starts at the base of the brain, travels into the face, down into the throat, into the heart, and then continues meandering, wandering down into all of the digestive organs, the liver, the spleen, and the intestines and stomach. So throughout practice, always just tune back into your physical presence, tune back into that vagus nerve, making its journey from the brain, sending those messages through the nervous system down to the digestive organs. So it's that brain to gut connection and the gut to brain connection. Start by introducing your slow and steady Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is a slight restriction at the back of the throat, so you can test yourself doing this by opening the mouth, and as if you were kind of misting up a mirror, that's that slight restriction at the back of the throat there. So you could try that with the mouth open, misting up a mirror or a piece of glass in front of you. Or you can try the Ujjayi breath with closing the mouth and then doing the same through the nose. So you still restrict the back of the throat, you're drawing the windpipes together. And slow and soft, you should be able to hear your own breath, almost like waves, ocean breath. Feel the belly, feel the lungs. Deep exhale out. Just a few more ujjayi here. Remember that slight restriction in the back of the throat when we work with the vagus nerve. Want to really have that throat connection. And then release ujjayi. Release the restriction in the throat and just breathe normally. Let's get our vocal cords active by breathing in, and we'll exhale with one Om. Breathing in. Om. And gently release the hands from the body, take them to the knees, palms face up, feel the warmth in the palms of your hands here, and also feel the warmth that you've left, an imprint on your body, the heat that you create yourself. Wiggle the fingers, circle the wrists, circle the shoulders, get some movement back. Breathing in, lifting the shoulders up, breathing out, rolling the shoulders back down. And let's start to stimulate and activate our vagus nerve by lifting up the knees, giving ourselves a big, big hug all the way around the knees, relaxing the belly, the thighs, relaxing the head and the neck down towards the knees. And just notice how that feels as you give yourself a hug. And one way to stimulate the vagus nerve is to hug others, of course, but if no one's in the room with you, hug yourself. Nice and slowly roll up through the spine. Keep the legs out in front of you. You can hold onto the knees if you like, or just interlace the fingers so that you can draw the knees together here. Dropping the ear over to the shoulder. Try not to lift this shoulder up as you do so. Shoulders are nice and level. You're just dropping the ear to the shoulder. Notice if you're looking down or you're looking up or you're looking forward. So trying to keep the gaze looking forward, breathing into the neck. Bring it back into center, slowly, slowly, slowly. Lift up and over as you go to the other side. Keep the shoulders nice and level again. Are you kind of looking down or are you looking up? Try and keep the face nice and central. Ear drops to shoulder a little bit more as you breathe out. So remember that vagus nerve starts at the base of the brain, goes into the face. So maybe smiling through our practice today, drawing down into the throat, the neck, into the heart, down into the organs of the digestive system. Breathing in, bring yourself back into center. This time, give yourself a big hug with the left arm on top. So try and get the shoulders, try and get the hands wrapping around the shoulders, lift up the elbows, relax the shoulders, and then fold forward. So you might be able to just open the knees just a little bit, drop the body down between the legs. Let the head and the neck relax towards the creases of your elbows. Again, that hugging sensation. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Open the arms and hug the other side. And lift the elbows up, draw the shoulders down, reach over and drop the elbows between the knees. Soften through the spine, the head and the neck. Relax the weight in your head towards the creases of your elbows. Slow, steady breathing. And start to roll up through the spine. Lift the arms. And we're going to come straight down onto our mat for banana posture. So we're going to get straight into the side body. So lying down on your backs, draw the knees in towards the chest and just start to release the spine from your day. Maybe just massaging a little bit, round circles with the knees. And we want to be able to feel the sides of our body today. We want to be able to feel the core is potentially starting to fire up a little bit without too much effort. And we want to come into the front and the back bodies of the middle back. So releasing the legs all the way along the mat. And lifting the arms up above the head, just walk the shoulder blades over to the right side. So shuffle the shoulder blades over. And then you can start to walk your feet over to the right side as well. And feet might be separated here. Or you can place the left foot over the top of the right. So we're in that little crescent shape. So again, legs are straight, not bent. Feet are all the way along the mat, and you're trying to draw down the left shoulder and be aware of the head and the neck here. So maybe turning the gaze towards your right elbow. So this is a nice side stretch down the side of the body. We're in a shape of a crescent or a banana. Breathing out, relaxing any tension that you may find here in this posture. Maybe you feel it in the left side of the waist, the left hip, the left thigh. Just be aware of where you feel the stretch. And gently bring the head back into center, wiggle the shoulders back into the center, release the arms down by the side and release that left foot back. So just come back into neutral Shavasana and just allow the body to respond before going to the other side. And lifting the arms up above the head, shuffle the shoulders to the left. Try to keep the hips and pelvis in the center if you can, and then just sweeping that right leg over. And again, deepening the stretch is placing that right ankle over the left. Both legs are straight. And they don't have to be crossed, they can be apart. It's always your body that guides you through these postures. Relax the head and the neck, maybe taking the gaze towards the left elbow. And just breathe deeply into any tightness and tension, any gripping that you might be experiencing on this right side. All the way from the toes right up to the wrist. Noticing your breathing pattern may have changed in a side body stretch. So how you adapt your breathing to the posture so that you are breathing comfortably and you are relaxed. We want to feel something, but not too much challenge or discomfort. Nice and slowly breathe in, lift the head up to the center, wiggle the shoulders back into the center, realign the spine, hands come down by the hips, and you release the right leg out back into your neutral corpse pose of Shavasana. Now drawing the knees in towards the chest. Just gently roll and massage out once more. If you've got a block handy or a bolster, you can choose either one of those options. I'm going to go with a block, and I'm going to place that block on its medium level. So you've obviously got the lowest level, medium, or the high one. I'm going to place that underneath my sacrum. So make sure that you are, whatever prop you're using, whether it's the bolster, that's obviously a little bit more comfortable because the blocks can be a little bit harder. Just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. You're in a supported bridge here. So this is bringing awareness into the throat and the heart. Spread the shoulder blades out and just lift the chin just a little bit. So imagine that you've got an apple in between your chin and your chest. Remember that hollow between the collarbones. Arms can come out to the side of you as long as the shoulders are nicely spread out underneath, or maybe in cactus. So bend at the elbow, backs of the hands down, drop the hips as much as you can here. So the neck is nice and long, not drawing the chin towards the chest or lifting the chin too high. Feel weight in the legs, the hips and the pelvis. Let those drop and release into the prop. And if you feel comfortable here, you can stay, of course, or you might wish to extend the legs out into pontoon. Puts a little bit more pressure into the lower back, so take that one nice and steady if you choose that option. Nice deep exhale. You feel all of the weight coming down through the center of your body. All the trunk is dropping down into your prop. Breathing slowly, deeply, calmly. Notice if you're clenching and tightening any muscles within the feet, the legs, the buttocks. Getting a deep stretch into the hip flexors if you're in pontoon. You're getting a deep stretch and opening into the psoas that wraps around from the rib cage, the spine, to the abdominals. And then you get a nice stretch in the front body. If you chose pontoon, just walk the feet back one by one. Place the soles of the feet down in line with the hips and then just realign as you might need to, dropping a little bit more. Your choice here to stay in supported bridge, or you can lift the right, lift the left, feet away from the mat, and lengthen the feet up to the sky into supported shoulder stand. And the arms can stay in cactus or by the sides of the body. So feel the weight dropping all the way down into the hips and pelvis here. Not here for long. It's okay. It's just a recovery pose. Backs of the legs are feeling quite tight. Just gently bend into the knees and then release the feet. Release the hands down, lift the hips, take your proper way and slowly, slowly, slowly roll down shoulder blades, upper back. We're going to keep that tailbone really lifted and scoop up through the belly. So draw each and every vertebra down to the mat. Take a moment in that rest pose with the feet wide, knees dropping towards one another. Feel the weight again into the center of your body. So heel toe the feet into parallel, roll over to one side, gently press yourself up. And let's just come to seated once more. So legs can be out in front of you, or they might be in butterfly, but sit nice and tall. This is a gentle, soft neck massage. So you can just use the knuckles and just massage into the throat. Be careful. Got lots going on into the throat, obviously, so you don't need to be too hard here. I want you to just close the eyes and just use the knuckles to massage right and left underneath the jaw, underneath the ears, down the sides of the neck, big muscles down there to support that 5 kilos of head and brain. And then coming down into the center. Again, that little hollow just in where the collarbones meet. This is stimulating your vagus nerve. And then let's come to tabletop. Swaying the hips out from side to side. Just sway left and right. Move the head and the neck to look back towards the feet. As the hips go left, head goes right. Come back into neutral. A few rounds of cat and cow here, dropping through the abdomen, looking forward to the front of your mat, really pressing away from the mat, exhaling, curling into cat. And remember, that vagus nerve, we're trying to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So we want to be in a place of rest, repair, and digest rather than fight or flight or stress. So we want to reduce our cortisol, the stress within our body. Breath helps with that. Having the vagus nerve in balance. Last time, rolling it up into cat, dropping the head. Chin comes to the chest, lifting up through the belly to the spine. And then let's take it into a child's pose. So you can take a wide knee here, bring the big toes to touch and just press yourself back. Hands might come underneath the head here, or you can rest the head on a block. I'd like the head to be in line with the heart rather than lower. So if you need to, you can make little fists and you can rest the head onto the top of your fists. So head is in line with the heart here. Spine is nice and long. The belly is just relaxing. Belly is just relaxing between the thighs. Soft abdomen. Now draw the abdomen back and in. Still find the breath. We're not clenching the abdomen, we're just drawing it in and back. Still breathing and relax the abdomen. Let the belly just release and fall towards the mat. Once more, draw the abdomen back in. Notice how the back body responds here. And then gently release. Okay, let's come into our side seal. So a couple of options here for you. If you wish to, with your side stretch, you can use the bolster to support you. So this comes underneath the rib cage here, and you might be on the forearm or onto the, if you're going to use the hand, you're probably not going to get the benefit of the bolster. Legs long. Okay, so this is the first posture to be in. Or you may just come straight up into your side seal. If this is really uncomfortable in the spine, just release one leg forward a little bit. And if that's not working, then the other option is using a block underneath the forearm here. So that's 3 options that you've got. Okay, we're here for at least 2 to 3 minutes. So just close the eyes. Again, we're lifting up through this side body. And if you're using the bolster, really allow the rib cage to nestle itself into the bolster, just as you did with your supported bridge. Keep lifting up through the torso. Good. Make sure the head is supported if you are using the bolster. So maybe putting a block underneath there. Nice and slowly come down and come all the way down into your prone position. Rest the head on top of the hands and just allow the side body to rest before coming to the other side. We're going to do a Sphinx. So maybe taking the feet a little bit wider, tops of the feet press into the mat, just sway out the hips a little bit, give some freedom. Arms come out in front of you, either the elbows underneath the shoulders or a little bit further forward. And remember that space between the chin and the chest. Lengthen the neck, relax and soften through the throat. Remember those massages that we did. And we're opening up through the chest, the heart, front and back body. Nice. So vagus nerve comes down into the heart. And sprays out before traveling down into the stomach. And if Sphinx ever becomes a little bit too much, you can always move those arms forward, or you can lift the feet. So bending at the knees, lifting the feet up towards the sky, sometimes alleviates that back pain that you might feel in a back bend. Feel the compression of the belly into the mat. And slowly release the feet. If you chose that option, release the hands underneath the head and just sway out through the hips. Release. Let's come to side seal on the other side. So choosing your option, whether it's with the bolster. I'm going to do the bolster on this side just to demonstrate. So legs are all the way along the mat. And again, choosing to support the head. So that bolster can tuck all the way into the side of your body. Support the head with a block. Really nestle the rib cage into the bolster, or keep lifting the rib cage away from the mat. Keep pressing through the forearm or the palm. Find the stillness. And then gently lifting yourself away so that you can remove your prop and bring yourself back down at once more into prone. So rolling down onto your belly, hands come underneath the head once more. Sway out through the hips just to recover. This time, hands come underneath the shoulders. We draw the elbows in and down towards the hips and just lift the chest nice and long. So crown of the head reaches away. We don't have to come too far in this cobra position. So we're grounding through the pubic bone and the hip bones. We're just lifting the chest a little way away from the mat, lengthening the spine in this back extension. So here, just lift the right toes a couple of inches away, extend the leg back behind you. Breathe, reach that right leg and lower. Lift the left, toes a few inches away. Keep those elbows tucked in towards the rib cage. Breathe, smile, reach the toes. Exhale. And bring the hands down underneath the forehead as you sway out. So let's start to roll up through the spine. Bring yourself back to tabletop. If you get to tabletop and you feel that you need to sway out, do a few rounds of cat and cow. Go for that. And then come back to kneeling, and you have an option here of sitting on a block or drawing the bolster in between your legs. So sitting nice and upright, drop the shoulders away, but keep the spine nice and long here. So you can just relax the feet. And this time, just as we did with the knuckles into the throat, we're going to do the same into the heart space and just around the kind of the chest area. So just use the knuckles, massage into the heart area. Go down a little bit towards the rib cage. Let me turn around so I can move my mic. You're just using the knuckles, stimulating the skin, but hopefully stimulating what organs, nerves, everything is behind there. And soft. You don't have to be forceful here. And just use a tapping technique. So you tap with your fingertips up onto the collarbones, down through the center sternum, tap, 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 down to the rib cage, and continue down to where we find the diaphragm. So the rib cage sits and the diaphragm sits underneath. So you're going to come underneath the rib cage, tapping into the diaphragm. Tap around the sides of your body, down the sides of the waist, and then massage the sides of the body. So use the heels of your hands, the palms of your hands, just to massage waist, sides of the body. Good. Like a locomotion. Great. So we're stimulating vagus nerve, sides of the body. And then release off of your bolster. So half butterfly. So drawing in the left leg. And you can use a block or you can use a bolster to support that knee. We're going to take a fold and draw everything down in towards the abdomen now. So we've started to work down through the throat, down into the heart, down into all of the intestines, the liver, the spleen, the kidney, where the vagus nerve ends. So sitting nice and tall, lift the arms up and reach over the leg. Softening the spine, softening the head. You don't have to have your knee on that bolster or the block to support. Relax the shoulders, the hands come down to the mat. Yeah, great. And then let the body gently fold. We don't want to do too deep a fold. Just to be aware of the belly starting to come into a compression. And think about drawing down the left shoulder. That's it. So the shoulders are nice and level. We're not lopsided. Good. Draw the belly back towards the spine. Try to relax any tightening or tensing of muscles. There's no contraction or engagement of any muscles. We're just drawing the belly back. And then go a little bit more each exhale. Nice and slowly roll it up through the spine. And then lift the knee, send it long. And let's come to the other side. So drawing in right foot, either into the thigh, or you can place it at the calf. And again, you can choose to use your bolster to support that knee. So this is a lot simpler posture. Lifting up the arms and reach long. Exhale, let the body release over. So relax the hands down to the mat. That's it. We don't have to hold anything up. Good. Soften through the head and the neck. Soften through the heart, front and back. And then draw the belly back towards the lower spine. Slow breaths in and out. Trying to draw the right shoulder downwards, leveling off the shoulders. Relaxing the facial expression. Relaxing the teeth and the jaw. Turning the corners of the mouth upwards. Notice what happens when you begin to smile. Lightness, maybe brightness comes into the posture. And then reaching up, lifting yourself up. And then that hand draws that leg in. Good. So caterpillar pose. It's folding over, so you can choose again the option with the bolster in between the legs to support the head here. Or maybe you prefer to take the fold with the bolster on top of the legs. But again, we're directing our attention down into the abdomen, down in towards the belly, the hara, and starting to release and fold over your prop. So letting yourself release now into this seated forward fold. If the legs become a little bit too tight and the hamstrings are feeling overstretched, you can always just bend the knees. Noticing if the breath has changed in any way in the fold. Maybe you have to adapt your breathing to be able to get that full breath down to the belly. Nice and slowly, start to lift the head. Start to roll back. Keep the belly tucked towards the spine. Head still down, chin to chest. Then shoulders come back up in line with the hips. And you start to lift the head slowly, slowly, slowly. And then again, just bringing that bolster underneath you, kneeling. And this time we stimulate our stomach, so getting those knuckles and just massage into the stomach area. So you can push inwards, you can pull them outwards, you can rub up and down or in circles. And then gentle, gentle tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Stimulate the whole digestive system. Don't forget the sides of the body and come to the back. So we've obviously got some organs at the back. So you can do that. If you want to twist, you can do that on one side and twist to the other. And then slow that down and just take a moment to kneel. Breathing in, breathing out. And feel the stimulation that we've encountered through the practice, all the way from the face, the throat, down into the heart, down into the abdomen. And then let's come back down onto our backs, taking your bolster for your supported fish pose. And you can use a block to support the head. Getting that bolster just a little way away from the spine, rolling back, making sure that you are supported. Roll the shoulders open and make sure that the head and the neck aren't holding themselves up. And then the arms can rest down by the side of you. Really open the chest, the shoulders, the rib cage stretches and opens down into the lower rib cage, down into the intercostal muscles around the abdomen area. And you can choose a butterfly pose with the legs if you like. Soles of the feet come together if that's an option you'd like to take, or the feet can be extended all the way along the mat. We're here for a few minutes, so make sure that you're comfortable and you can find stillness here. Reminding yourself of the softness through the face, relaxing worry and frown lines, releasing tension and tightness in the teeth and the jaw, making sure that you're not lifting or dipping the chin too much. The neck is supported by the block. And you're soft through the throat. Relaxing through the upper back, the chest and shoulders as they mold themselves around your bolster. Feel the rib cage and the heart space opening. And be aware of your breathing all the way down to the belly. And softening through the lower back. Taking a deep breath in. Sigh out that breath. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Then lifting the head, looking along the body, lifting the arms, bringing the legs in, and then pressing yourself up with the elbows as you just take your props away to the side, take them to the right side of you, and then roll down all the way flat on the mat, back into corpse pose, Shavasana. Notice how the body feels after that 5 minutes in supported fish. Let's draw the knees in, roll and massage out. Little circles with the knees, massage the sides of the body, back of the waist, middle back, shoulder blades. Let's come into a reclined twist. So your right leg goes long, you roll onto your right hip and you use your bolster on your left side to support that left leg. Then you can open up the arms if you feel comfortable to do so, drawing down that left shoulder. If that's not comfortable, keep that elbow resting and the hand onto the hip. So the arms are out at shoulder height. Gaze might go to the sky, or you can start to extend that twist into the neck by looking towards your left palm. And make sure that the foot is supported as well as the leg on that bolster. We're here for a couple of minutes. Find that gentle twist through the spine. Breathe deep into the abdomen and the organs here, front and back organs, where we stimulated with the tapping and the massaging. So this practice was a little bit for digestion as well, to improve our digestion, improve our side body stretches, the movement of our side body, but also our ability to breathe easier. Coming out of the posture, just move the head first. Move the arms, then the legs. Come back into neutral, draw the knees in. Roll out, and then take the bolster over to the opposite side. Roll onto the left hip. Right leg comes up. Make sure the knee and the foot are both supported. And again, choosing the option of the elbow down by the side of you with the hand on the hip, or opening up the arms, palms face up, shoulder height, and then choosing the option to stretch the neck as well, looking towards the right palm. Continuing to really breathe deep into those organs. Almost visualize the insides of your body, your anatomy. See if you can visualize the vagus nerve coming down from the brain, sending the messages into the face, the throat, the heart, and the organs. Remembering to rest, repair, and digest. Breathing in, returning the head, returning the hands, returning the leg. Take a moment in restorative rest as you take the feet wide, knees drop together, and allow the body just to rest here. Looking back at the practice, digesting the information, what came up for you, feelings, sensations, and experiences, and then returning into a final resting pose of Shavasana, making sure that you are very, very warm. Body temperature tends to drop quite significantly during Shavasana or meditation. And now enjoying your final rest here for next 3 or 4 minutes of silence. I'm not going to talk too much. I want you to enjoy the end of your practice. Slowing down everything. Slowing down the heart rate, the thoughts of the mind, and the body. I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths. Bringing awareness back to your surroundings, onto the mat and into the body by bringing soft and gentle movement to the hands, to the feet. Taking time to draw the knees in and just gently start to roll out, massage. And returning up to seated, bringing the hands into the heart center and Anjali Mudra. And just drawing those thumbs in towards the sternum. Feel the connection of the back of the thumbs in towards the heart space. Long spine, long neck. Just taking a moment to notice how you feel after practice. And how you can take anything that you learned from the movement or the anatomy of practice into your evening and the rest of your week ahead, and just incorporating yoga into your daily lifestyle. Remembering the parasympathetic nervous system of rest, repair, and digest, reducing stress, reducing that fight or flight mode. Always reminding yourself to give yourself a big thank you, and to your body. And I thank you. Namaste.